Behind the Shades.
My name is Ava, and I'm an authentic Tantra practitioner and transformational therapist. And my job is to really take men, women, couples through the power of their own minds and healing through pleasure in order to experience more fulfillment in their lives.
So when you say taking them through the experience to experience more fulfillment, let's say someone like me who's not that I am this, but let's say someone who's very selfish and it's all about me, 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 and not about you, you, you. How would you break that down to someone like me who wants to have a better experience, not only for themselves, but the partner that they're with?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if I take this in terms from the perspective of authentic Tantra methods are really for harnessing your own innate power through awareness and also through pleasure, but it also means you wanting and desiring to share those experiences with other people, and obviously just not the sexual side of these things, but the overall joy and pleasure that we're getting from a lot of these practices. It's meant to be shared. It's meant to be expressed. It's meant to be a group effort, I guess you can say.
Is that difficult for the clients that you deal with to understand that it's an experience that is better shared?
It really depends. I think that a lot of us hold on to these beliefs about ourselves, self-limiting beliefs. And a lot of this is due to unresolved trauma. So of course, the role of trauma is to keep us in pain. It's to disconnect us from the world and from ourselves and from the people that we love most of all. So in order for us to truly connect from this authentic, loving, compassionate place, we also have to heal, right?
And do you help those who are maybe experiencing this trauma that you mentioned? What's some of the ways that you can help them through their healing process to understand the trauma that is preventing them from doing certain things in regards to the tantra that you teach?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things that I do is I take individuals through a method called transformational therapy. And this is, again, where we dive deeply into the subconscious mind. And it's really important to acknowledge the subconscious because it creates over 95% of our reality, which is like, that's a big number. That's a lot. And the only way to access the subconscious is through very deep states of relaxation and or deep states of meditation, which again, like, we can't get to that because it's excruciating pain. Like, it's very painful for us to sit down and try to meditate for hours. A lot of us actually disassociate and don't ever try it again because it's so painful. So transformational therapy is such a wonderful way for us to literally go right into that subconscious memory bank, so to say, and we get to select how we want to feel and kind of edit out the ways in which they're no longer serving us. So that's a really big chunk of what I do. And then from there, I take individuals through a process of authentic tantra so that they can start to learn how to harness pleasure as a mechanism for healing on all levels, as well as sexually.
Where were you 10 years ago when I was dating this young lady and we needed help? And that's going to introduce me to story time. Ava, I hope you're ready. There was this young lady I was dating, and she said, Terrain, the reason why you don't have children is because you have ran out of sperm. And I looked at her, same way that you just looked at me, and I was like, say what? What are you talking about? She's like, yes. She's like, you've done it so much, so selfishly that you've ran out and you don't have any children. And I wish, Ava, you were around because I could have said, hey, I need you to speak to this young blonde lady here. And can you explain to her, Ava, that she's out of her mind because I have no idea what she's talking about. So when you say transformation between two people, what would that look like if we came to, we said, Ava, we have a problem here. I can't figure it out. She can't figure it out. We need help. Help us, Ava. because we need you right now.
Yeah, so I think that maybe that comment is rooted in a lot of shame and guilt, and I think that's kind of rooted in how we all feel about our sexuality in some way or another. It's rooted in our culture, it's rooted in society, it's rooted in religion. So I think that some of these really big things oftentimes do come up in the bedroom that stem out into the relationship as a whole, because let's face it, when we're not having great, loving, connective sex, it is affecting all facets of our entire lives. It affects us financially, whether you realize it or not. It affects us emotionally and mentally and all of these things. So I would say that we need to look at this perspective from a holistic view, right? And it's not just about the sex. In fact, most any sexual type of issue or sexual problem has a non-sexual solution. And working through authentic tantra, again, it's not just about these sexual aspects, but looking at ourselves from a holistic perspective, looking at ourselves as full human beings who need to experience connection above all, right? So I think that for most couples, the main issue is connection, but it's also the thing that we're most afraid of. And we all have this kind of connection survival style to one way or another, where again, connection is a thing we're all striving for, but it's the thing that we fear the most. So working through a lot of these methods, it's really to connect us to our innate self, our innate nature, that has always been within us, but we have all that gunk and like shitty stuff that's getting in the way of us taking that next step forward. And I just want to mention that connection is how we start to feel more fulfilled in our lives as a whole too.